Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jay. I'm a real estate investor, and today I want to talk to you about the value of a community's perception on a multifamily property. Now, this past weekend, my immediate family, my wife, my kids, we decided to take a somewhat impromptu trip to see my parents. They live up in Northeast Alabama, where I was born, raised, grew up, whatnot. It's the first trip we've taken since COVID. It's the first trip we've taken since I was laid off from the W-2. And I got to say, it was really nice not having to worry about work and ensuring I had time off approved. We just at the last minute said, hey, let's go, right? So I did miss one meeting with the W2 Capitalist Mastermind, but that call was left in very capable hands. Thank you, Annette, for taking care of that. But what I mean by the value of a community's perception on a property is my parents live on the Coosa River. And while we're visiting them, we went out to lunch. We did a lunch cruise one day, and we passed this 160 unit apartment complex that butts up right to the river. And I noticed they used to have this big long pier or walkway that went along the parallel along the side of the property, and it had been removed. So I had to ask. I said, "Hey, how are things at Forest River?" So if you're familiar where I grew up or watching from where I grew up, you probably know about Forest River. Which is no longer named that, but my parents who've lived in this community, the same entire city, their entire lives, they started giving me examples of how bad those apartment complexes actually were. And it was pretty bad, right? And the more we talked, the more I realized the examples they were giving me, they were not only the extreme examples, but they also occurred at least 10 years ago. So when we got back in the car, a little bit later, we got back in the car, I drove by, I noticed there was a new property on the side, on the land side. I noticed beautiful new signage. Landscaping had started going up that I didn't notice or recognize before. And some of the exteriors have been updated too. A little fresh pressure washing, fresh coat of paint kind of thing. And I thought, damn, missed that opportunity. And sure enough, once I was back in front of a computer, I looked up on the county records, which, come on, Etowah County, you got to step up your game. Those county records are pitiful. But the property changed hands approximately 3 years ago. And according to the two different crime websites I referenced, the crime rate for that complex was just as low as the surrounding area. So kudos to the new owners for turning that asset around. But the point of this video is for you to hear, or if you hear someone or you see someone in the community you're looking to invest in, talk with them. Talk with them and ask them about, where is a crappy or crime-ridden place, right? If you hear that kind of noise, that should smell like opportunity for you. Right. A lot of times we call this value add opportunity. We receive the same type of feedback on our 42 unit in Mobile County, Alabama. Part of our due diligence when we were acquiring this asset was to spend some time in the local restaurant, asking anyone really that would talk to us, the wait staff, patrons of the restaurant or whatnot, what they knew about that property. And the feedback was very similar, right, as to what my parents had mentioned. Now, we acquired that property in Mobile County in 2017, and here recently, a few deacons of that community reached out wanting us to take over a much worse complex. My partners and my partners have done an amazing job on turning that property around and stabilizing that asset. I don't know that the worst one's going to happen anytime soon, but anything is possible. So the point I want to get across today is if you hear somebody talking about, hey, that's a crime-ridden place, or man, that's just a horrible place to live, chances are it's mismanaged, and chances are that should smell like opportunity for you to at least further deep dive into it, right? So that's the point of today. Before we get out of here today, I want to point you toward DealCheck. They're over here today. Promo code W2CAP. They are an affiliate of ours. It is the analyzation calculator that I use on our multifamilies that I'm underwriting. I haven't used it for single family or flippings and burrs, but all that is part of the calculator. Now get this, it's free to sign up. It's free to use. Once you hit to a point where you need to unlock some features, that's when it's going to start to charge you, right? But if you use the promo code W2CAP, you get an extra 25% off, meaning that for about $5, if you do the annual commitment, it's about $5 a month, at least for the plan that I use, right? The link for Deal Check is in the description below, but don't forget to use the promo code W2CAP to get an additional 25% off. Also, do me a favor. If you received any nuggets out of today's video, hit the thumbs up button for me, as it lets me know what kind of content you're interested in seeing. And to ensure you see more of it, click on the subscribe and notification buttons too. Now, here are some other videos that might interest you.